Graduating at 20 years old might seem like the best university outcome ever. Rather than putting yourself in debt and continuing to waste years of your life at university, better to just go and get a job and make more money. But actually, I did it all wrong. Now in this video, we're going to talk about the top 5 reasons why graduating early, like I did, and not making the most of your university degree is a big mistake. And make sure you pay attention to number 4, because I'm certain that you've never heard it anywhere else. So now we're going to get into the first reason why graduating early is a big mistake in university. And that first reason is because you set up your entire career in university. Now, you'd be surprised to know that some jobs pay 4 times as much out of university than other jobs. And especially in today's job market, when so many people can't find a job, it's going to be difficult to even get paid. So why not focus on getting a top paying career and making the most of your 4 years in university? Back when I was in university, my intent was just get out of there as soon as I can. I was a university student during COVID, and obviously it was not a good time. So what I did is simply just stack as many courses as I could. In fact, I even enrolled at a second community college where I was doing courses online so that I was taking 28 units at one point. And that might seem impressive, but like I said, I made the mistake. So I hope that you don't as well, because rushing through your university experience is not a good idea. In university, you set up your entire career. As one who started off my career as an accountant at Ernst & Young, I was very limited in the options that I had, particularly within finance, because it's a lot more difficult to come out of a career in accounting and become a high earner than it is something like investment banking. And oftentimes people in university are there to have fun and to enjoy life and just enjoy a 4-year vacation. But in fact, these are the most important years for setting up the career that is going to make you money and be done for the rest of your life. So why not make the most of it? This might look like targeting certain careers because they pay more, but more specifically, it involves attending student clubs. At student clubs, you are provided with so many different resources for how to get into the top paying jobs, the ones that are the most competitive. And oftentimes, it's not just networking and recruiting, but it's knowing the right people. Through student clubs, you're gonna have incredible opportunities to not only be prepared for the interviews that are gonna come your way, but also get in the right networking circles and meet the right people who are gonna even give you the opportunity of getting into these prestigious jobs. But if you're just one who wants to graduate as early as you can and not make the most of your university experience, you're never going to get into these student clubs in the first place. And you're going to be wondering why some of your friends were able to make over $100,000 right out of university, whereas you were only being paid around $50,000, $60,000. Student clubs are actually the #1 important way that you have a real opportunity to get into these top prestigious jobs past university. So make sure you make the most of your time at university and attend the student clubs, whether that be the finance club or whatever industry you're looking for. Make sure you attend that student club and really follow through with their curriculum, because they're going to teach you the interview skills that you need to succeed, as well as getting you in the right circles with the right employers and making sure that someone on the inside likes you so that you can get one of these great jobs in such a difficult job market. Now, the second reason why graduating early is such a mistake is because you have a real opportunity to attend conferences and brand yourself rather than a company. As one who currently attends Yale Business School and is doing a summer internship for a cryptocurrency company named Axelar, I know that when I attend a conference, I'm not representing myself any longer. I am representing the company. That is a huge difference, because you're going to be branding a company rather than yourself. But being an employee at a certain company is going to very much narrow down those options. So understand that as a student, conferences are a great way to make connections and to have these people be open-minded to understanding who you are as a person rather than the company that you represent. Now, the third reason why you don't want to skip through university and graduate as soon as you can is because this is the time to really develop your network and to create lifelong friends who are going to help you out in your future careers. As a student, you're given so many opportunities to really develop your network. However, if you're just going to get through university and graduate as soon as you can or not really make the most of it, you're never going to develop this network. And a very large amount of jobs are found through a network rather than just some job posting online. Especially nowadays with how difficult it has been for recent graduates to find a job, it is very fundamental for you to utilize your network in finding that great job. In addition to developing your network, university is one of those places where people really make lifelong friends. But people often stay in touch with their roommates well after their time in university, and you never know who you're gonna meet during that time. So it's important that you make the most of your time there and really get involved with developing a network and striving for friendships that are gonna grow past university, because these are the reasons why you attend university, not just to get the degree. Now, for the fourth reason why you got to make the most of your university experience, it's going to be very contradictory to some. Oftentimes, people want to graduate university as soon as they can is because of the debt associated with how expensive university can be. You know, many people pursue these 4-year degrees and have to take out a large amount of student loans and often fall into 5 or 6-figure debt balances and have to pay back these student loans for many years after they graduate. Well, would it surprise you to hear that I did not graduate with any debt, and in fact made around $25,000 just from my university? And how did I do that? The first reason was finding a great on-campus job. I was able to get one of the best university jobs that are out there, and that is working as a student resident, because you save around $20,000 quite simply for being a floor manager of an apartment. You know, if I think about my experience back then, I perhaps put in 10 hours of work a week to make $20,000 in university and to be the manager of my own floor. Getting these great university jobs that are high paying and take little work is a fantastic way to reduce the debt that you're going to have to pay if you were to take on loans. And the second reason is pursuing scholarships. I can't tell you the amount of scholarships that I was awarded in university. I must have given up around $20,000 of potential scholarship money because of the fact that I graduated early. In fact, if I had taken that 4th year, I would have already graduated with no debt because I had enough scholarships to pay off the difference for myself. Scholarships and getting on-campus jobs are a fantastic way to graduate debt-free. And that is often the reason why people pursue faster university timelines, so that they're not gonna have to graduate with so much debt. But if you're smart and you play your cards right, you could graduate debt-free and in fact even make money while in university like I did. And finally, we're gonna talk about the 5th reason why graduating early and not making the most of your university degree is the worst thing you can do as a university student now. And that is because internship opportunities are fundamental to your career and your success. Oftentimes, employers look at internships, and certain jobs cannot even be done without having certain internships. For example, out of undergrad, if you wanted to pursue a career in private equity, these employers look for you to do an investment banking internship in your 2nd year at a top bank like Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan or Morgan Stanley. Meaning that if you're a student looking to get that private equity offer after you graduate, but you've had no prior internships, you stand almost 0% chance. Whereas I can't tell you the amount of people I've met who have said that they're going to work in private equity following graduating from Yale. And I always asked them how they did it. They would tell me that it all started with their 2nd year degree internship. Now, that is a very specific case of working in private equity after university, but oftentimes internships are job experiences that you get in university. And if you're a student who's just trying to get through the years and not make the most of your time there, you're not going to pursue these internships, and you're going to struggle to find a job because they're going to find other students who have done these internships, and they're going to prefer the experience that they bring to the table. So make sure that you don't make the big mistake of rushing through your university degrees and not pursuing these internships, because these are going to be the fundamental ways that you find the high-paying and successful jobs after you graduate university. So with that in mind, in this video, we talked about the 5 biggest reasons why graduating early and not making the most of your university experience are the biggest mistake that students make in university. And if you don't want to make those mistakes, make sure you subscribe to this channel, where I'm going to be giving you top advice on how to really do the best in your career, whether you're a student or an early career working professional.